energetic
Hi,
audience.
everybody. Monday, March 28th, 2011. Sunny and cold outside.
Oh, wait.
Sela Ward's
She doesn't know that.
tomorrow on our show, Sarah Ramirez, plays Kali on Grey's Anatomy, will be here.
And the beautiful Susan Lucci will be here.
Who has written a book about her life. And Lisa Rinna will be our co-host. All right, our next guest is known to millions of fans for Emmy Award-winning performances in successful series like Once and Again and Sisters. And now she stars as crime scene investigator on the popular drama CSI New York. Please welcome Sela Ward. Sela Ward's been coming on this show the last 3 times. Joy has been
here
pig
every
shitting.
time.
Yeah.
I love that.
You must think Kelly is a myth.
Exactly. I was thinking the other day, gosh, I think the very first time I was on your show was when you went on a remote to the Bahamas, and I kept thinking I must have been 20-something years old, and I'd love to see that footage.
We don't do that anymore. That
The
must have been one of
Bahamas,
those
yeah.
great trips.
We've been down there a couple of times.
Yeah.
You look terrific.
It's a long
really.
time ago. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's good to see y'all.
For you all, you see.
Isn't it?
I know.
Mississippi girl.
Mississippi and me, you
Mississippi
can't
girl.
take out of
But
me.
you went to school in Alabama.
University of Alabama, Roll Tide.
And were you Miss Mississippi?
No, but I was a cheerleader at Alabama and all that good stuff when Bear Bryant was there.
Oh, the
Homecoming
Bear,
queen,
yeah.
You were,
It
you
was
must have
fun.
had, a wonderful high school experience, right?
I did. It was great. It really was, particularly college, I have to say, was maybe the most impactful.
Did you have a boyfriend in college?
I did.
Was he on the football team?
He was. He was big.
Huh?
He was a defensive lineman. His name was Bob Baumhauer, and he went on to play for the Miami Dolphins.
No
and he
kidding.
was a killer bee down there.
Oh, yeah?
Remember there were 3 guys, 3 defensive linemen. They called them the Killer Bees. He was an awesome guy.
My
Sounds
God,
like a
just-
movie,
My
doesn't it?
first sweetheart. Yeah, he was
Sounds like you were
great.
really in love with him.
I was. I really was.
What do you want Sela to say?
I know.
You're really
I'm
digging
thinking,
in.
where do I go with
He
that?
loves to talk about romances.
No, but you understand, some women never forget a
Their
good...
college sweetheart. Yeah, right.
Yeah. We'll talk later.
Not to change the subject, but now you're taking your son to look at
great.
colleges, right? I found that it's such a bonding experience when you just take one child and you tour colleges with them,
I know. I start that on Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
It's fun, I think.
It's such a bittersweet thing because it's exciting on the one hand, and then you go, oh my Lord,
You're gonna
how
lose
far
him.
away is he going to
It's
be?
time to say goodbye, yeah.
What
What school? Well, we should-
he wants to go on the East Coast, so he's looking all over here. Just hope it's somewhere I love to visit.
And let you... What was that like? Was that difficult to get something like that going?
We opened this about year 2000, and what happened was I had gone, a friend of mine had started an emergency shelter for abused kids, and I said, I really want to see what this is about, and I go there that day. It was during Christmas, and there were 2 little boys. They were brothers. They were 12 and 14 years old. Michael and Jimmy, I'll never forget them. And there was just something about these kids. You knew if you got them right then, they would just be awesome, awesome citizens. And they were about to be separated, and they were all they had left in the world. And their sisters had already been put in different homes in the state. The dad had been prostituting the sisters, and the mother was a drug addict in jail. So the parents' rights had been terminated. And they were all they had left in the world. And I guess being one of 4 kids, I couldn't imagine if that were my sister and I, and then she was going to be taken away from me at such tender ages. I thought I couldn't, it killed me, just killed me. So long story short, as I'm crying on the phone, okay, Howard, we have to adopt these kids, and he's the one changing diapers while I'm filming on Once in the Sisters, I think it was at that time, or Once in the, he said, well, what's the problem? I said, the problem is there's nowhere to keep these kids together, a facility big enough to take in siblings. So we ended up getting the money. There was an abandoned children's home, and established this children's home. It's been thriving. We've served like 300-something kids a year. And
all ages?
All ages.
Do you find homes for them?
And, well, they're wards of the state.
Right.
And so the state finds homes for them. But I'm in a big campaign to reestablish group homes, you know, because I think that the quality of care is much, much better than being in the broken foster system. And bounced from 12 families
It's a
a year.
terrific idea,
Oh,
really.
that's terrific.
Good for you. Sela Ward, bringing it in. We'll be right back with Sela in a moment. Sela Ward has just joined the team over at CSI New York, her very first season. The show is now in its 7th season. Now, is it difficult to join a show that's in progress, that's been around so long, and you're the new kid on the team?
It wasn't on the show. I mean, truly, Gary Sinise, who is really the reason I went on the show, I think he's so extraordinary.
He is great.
So good. And he sets the tone for the whole set. He's so warm and embracing. They were wonderful. But I've walked onto shows before where the lead actress, the first scene I'd be doing with her, and she'd look at me and go, "And how long are you here?" I go, "Oh, my." It can be tricky. But this show is fabulous.
It is.
They're wonderful.
We started to watch
people.
the episode and we couldn't. We got so engrossed in it. We can't wait to finish it tonight. It must be a transition for you because you're so used to relationships and, you know, and sisters and once and again. For you to now come to a crime scene and something gory is lying there. Is that a difficult?
Oh, my Lord, all those shows I've been on, I know everything about marriage and breaking up and
Yeah,
falling
now
in
you're an
love and
authority on
children.
that.
And I had 3 days before I started this show when I got the script to wrap my brain around murder and dismembering and gunshots and bludgeoning. It's like, not quite like love. Unless in some households it might be. But,
You'd rather be in love with that big boyfriend.
That's right.
Bob Bumgarner. He was wonderful.
But I'm loving my husband.
I know you love him.
Regis.
Of course you do.
And that was a long
No, you
time.
don't want him on you.
Well, let's take a look.
You know, the great thing, the clip you're going to see,
Yeah.
ironically, you were asking me about the children's home.
Yeah.
On the storyline on the show is that I have adopted this young girl when she's like 2 years old from this woman who I've helped put into jail. And so that's why it's especially meaningful to me, because all of the work with abused and neglected children. So it was a touching storyline for me.
She
It's
was
a
the
great episode this Friday.
She was the one on
really
the
good.
train, right?
Yes.
Who saw what
Yes.
happened. Yeah, and then you were asking her, why were you on the train? Where were you
It
going?
was supposed to be in school.
Something
All
extra.
right, let's take a look at the scene. Now, here's Sela's character, Detective Joe, confronting her adopted daughter about where she was going on the train when this murder took place.
Okay, we made him.
Got a lot on your plate already. All right, CSI New York airs Friday nights at 9 o'clock on CBS. Sela, thanks so much for coming. It's so good to see you again. Josh Town.